Joining me now is a member of the Tim Scott campaign, their senior communications advisor, Matt Gorman. And Matt, Senator Scott said it himself last month. He is all in Iowa. Our poll has him in fourth place now. Can any amount of a more aggressive Tim Scott turn the battleship in the Hawkeye state?
Well, I think we'll see. We feel confident. I mean, Gary, you remember back in the day, we had Rick Perry, Michelle Bachmann, Newt Gingrich leading the Iowa polls, and folks like Ted Cruz and others like Rick Santorum, who ended up winning, were in the single digits as well. So
that's true.
A lot of times between now and then, we feel good. We love going to Iowa.
Now, when I think aggressive and combative, I don't think Tim Scott, though. I feel like this, no, I mean, it's not how he is. I cover him in Congress, too. Like, this is an uncomfortable position for him to be in, to have to start throwing some of his own punches on stage. How does he do that as the guy who is kind of run as the moderate side of the word, but sort of like calmer conservative in this field?
Well, what I would say is optimistic, but that doesn't mean there won't be policy contracts. I saw that in the last debate between Haley and
it's a world that is solid. It's a good second that I wouldn't lie to visit. I get to stay for the winners in the end. Come on now, with the able. That a wish and narrative in the wounded break. It's a with a people sit up on my eye, yo. It's a road. It's a truth, so we a fire. It's a moment when the sugar I didn't got to hurt, yeah. We unlock shit from the breast. It's meant to start, yeah. It's a symbol. It's life, baby. Every day. It's a symbol. It's life, every day, yeah. I still go under with it, fight and I got the basic way, yeah. Falling onto the basket, put the start on the longest, burning the slug, lips, already, it's always emotion, I'm broken, reset, it's a thing, but on my, cannot enjoy, I don't choose, we fire, you know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the like a rifle, I heard, yeah. We are lost to the bar to bend early this shit out. Yeah, it's a symbol. Yeah, it's a symbol.
Also, I think that he is going to outlay a plan of foreign policy. He believes peace through strength. Again, expect to hear more about that worldview tonight.
The other issue you mentioned, which will obviously come up tonight, we've talked about it all show, is this issue of abortion. And the Senator Scott's very conservative on abortion. And voters, including in places like Ohio, keep saying, you know, this is not what we want. How that issue should be handled by a Republican president, by a Republican senator.
Look, I think what he says is that a majority of voters do believe in some sort of 15-week standard.
A majority of voters where? Like, that's not coming up in what people are voting for.
Yeah, exactly. But it does come as a majority of voters do believe that is a standard. He pushed for Ron DeSantis to join him on that. DeSantis did the last debate, though I heard his campaign manager was kind of backing away from that a little bit today. And he believes that this is just personal for him. It's beyond politics. And look, when you talk about extreme, you have Democrats, California, Illinois, and New York want to put abortion up to the day of birth. So a 15-week standard would stop that in a place where it's broadly popular.
He still thinks a 15-week national standard is policy that he can win on.
Yes.
All right. I want to talk a little bit about his day job as it relates to this race. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of talk right now back in Washington about funding for Israel and for Ukraine. I mean, you talked about standing shoulder to shoulder to Israel. The Congress hasn't been able to produce anything in terms of additional funding for Israel. Is that an opportunity for him to show leadership on that issue? And where does he stand on any of these bills or concepts even that have been floating around to get this done?
Yeah, there's a lot of concepts, not a lot of bills, to your point.
Yeah.
He believes that Israel should be separate. Give them the aid, give them now. Look, he's a supporter of making sure that Ukraine has the assets they need to degrade the Russian military, but it's a separate issue. He believes getting the assets to Israel, getting them quickly and as soon as possible is important. He believes they should be separate, though, but to your point, no bills, I believe, yet that have come about.
Not in the Senate.
Yeah.
How did you avoid, as a senator, getting caught up in the backwash of people who just don't think Congress can get anything done? He's one guy. Yeah. But how do you stay out of that sort of like undertow of ineffectiveness when you're out here making your case?
You know, look, I think he's not been shy about talking about his record. He talks about how he wrote the tax reform bill, the personal side of it. It brought single moms a tax cut, families a tax cut, but also he's very well known for passing what's called opportunity zones, which brought private investment into some of the most impoverished areas in the country, which really helped anti-poverty across the country.
I just think the old McCain line about Congress's approval rating is basically so low it's like members and paid staff. A very difficult thing to deal with. Matt Gorman, thank you for your time on all this. We got to leave it there.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.